I am Stacey A. Cross, and there is no E in my name.
Good morning, good evening, good night, good freaking afternoon. Whenever you are watching, it is always the perfect time. I am Stacey A. Cross, and there is no E in my name, and it is an honor today to kind of connect Canada with the U.S., but also connect two crazies, myself and Lucas. I'm going to freaking butcher your name, and I don't want to. I'm going to, you say it, and then I say it.
Rubkiewicz.
Rubkiewicz, Lucas Rubkiewicz, man, I don't want to butcher it anymore, man. I think it's an honor for people's names, and I'm glad to have you here with me on the Comfort Killer Show, Grant Cardone TV. The Comfort Killers is about highly motivated individuals, as you know. So when I handpick them, they're handpicked, okay? They belong here. They deserve to be here. So Lucas, you know, he went from sleeping in a truck, right? Let's go into, I'm going to go backwards just a little bit, okay? So you went from living in a truck, sleeping on a beach, showering in a lake. Bro, who are you? Number one.
Well,
some caveman. This is caveman mentality right here. And then just decided you went to Panama and just switched your life around. Now it's all about Revolution Fitness Online. I connected with Lucas on Snapchat. I seen what he did on Instagram. We're going to get into all of that. But first, Lucas, thank you so much for joining Stacey A. Cross, myself, on the Comfort Killer Show.
No, thank you. That intro is like, I can't forget it. There is no E in it. It's best. It's the best thing.
Well, thank you. I mean, you know what? And that's why I didn't want to butcher your name so much, because I know how important I am. If someone puts an E in that damn thing, I'm like, cut them off.
Right. Well, it's a hard one. I can hardly say my last name right. That's why I shortened to that Rubik's. I'm like, Rubix, easy. People can remember it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you went from living in a truck, okay? Your truck, hopefully, not some stranger's truck.
Yeah.
Depressed, but still something you wanted more. Tell me about that experience of the backwards, how you felt living in that time.
Sure. Well, that was probably 5 years ago or 6 years ago even. I was a mess. I was working on the oil rigs. So I was making good money, but it was in and out. So every time I get money in, I'd kind of lose it. And then just kind of directionless, you know how it goes. And then it turned into that motorcycle trip to Panama. It was a 6-month trip that I did with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And when I got to Panama, and it was all about the 10X book. We were kind of chatting about it earlier.
Yeah.
I started going through that, and I started really thinking, what do I want to do? And that's kind of where it started.
So asking yourself, like, okay, you went to Panama. It's like one of those trips where it changes you when you go to the place, right? Totally. And where did you buck up on the 10X rule?
I think when I was leaving, I'm like, you can only take so much. Like, we got these little panniers on these motorcycles, or 650 motorcycles for 6 months. And you can't bring much with you. So I bought one of those Kindles.
Yeah.
And I just went crazy. I just downloaded a whole bunch of books. I'm like, this is all I have. And I started reading, and I think I stumbled across, the 10X rule. It started with Og Mandino, like that greatest salesman in the world. Have you read that?
No, I have not.
Amazing book. That's kind of where it all started. And I was like, whoa, like I've never read a book like that before. I've never done any personal development work before. I was always just working for the man.
Mm-hmm.
So I started reading. And when you're on a motorcycle for 10 hours a day, you just think under your helmet all day long.
Right.
So I really got to, I think a lot of times you can read a book without actually soaking it in. But I'd read in the morning, I'd read a chapter, half a chapter, and I'd have 10 hours to think about it. So things started sinking in. And completely different person after that trip. I mean, I recommend to everyone, if you're lost now and you just don't know what you're doing, do something crazy like go sleep in the forest for 30 days.
Caveman style.
Yeah.
You know what's so funny is because the 10X rule did it for me, same exact thing what it did for you. It pushed it, you understood it. You knew what was needed now. Before we were kind of lost, like, okay, well, what am I doing? What's my purpose? You're asking the right question. The question was, you just need to act, you just need to do 10X. You need to freaking expand, take massive action. And what it did for you is the same thing it did for me. It seeped in my subconscious and changed me. So now you're on your way back. You go back to Canada.
Yeah.
You're always in fitness, because I know fitness is your passion, and we're going to get into that. But was that something you've done before, prior to your
It was, but I was just kind of, I wasn't really applying myself. It was here and there. It's hard to, well, I guess in any industry, it's hard to, everyone tells you it's hard to make a living. It's hard to, but I just kind of believe that. So I always did other things on the side, delivery driver, delivering, freaking furniture from Canadian Tire. You're in the States, so I guess you want to know Canadian Tire, but it's just junk jobs.
Yeah.
And then when I really came back, and I want to say one thing about that 10X thing is, I remember, I think 6 weeks just to make a logo, right? I wanted everything perfect. I'm like, oh, and I was just scared to do it. And what that book really did for me was I turn on the camera and I just shoot. I don't have time to edit it. I just send it out there. I don't have time for logo. I'll just create something. Just action.
Right.
That's it.
It does boil down to action. Like everything that we're saying to ourselves is an objection to ourselves. So if we're not completing, if we're not producing, and I believe production is the highest state of morale. I feel good when I'm producing something. But we've been tied back to be perfect, to kind of fit in this mold, to be traditionally, in this box, and it got to be perfect before we go. And what that book taught us, I agree with you. Take action, figure it out later, commit first, figure that whole thing out later.
It gets better. It gets better.
Yeah,
you'll get your logo. You'll get your money to make professional video. It'll come, but just, man, you won't get good at it if you don't do it.
Absolutely. So, I'm looking at your videos now, and I looked at your website, professional, right? It looks great. Everything is done. I'm checking the quality of your work. It's awesome. So how did the day one, tell me about day one, right? You're like, this is it. I'm shooting this. I'm going to go to the gym. What was that like? When did you kind of turn it into a business aspect?
It turned into, so we were out of money. And we're traveling through. We just hit Belize on motorcycles, and my parents live in Belize actually.
Huh.
And so I'm staying at their place. It was only supposed to be a few weeks. It turned to a few months. And I had this old computer there. There's poor internet connection. Like their infrastructures. It's a third world country.
Yeah.
Trying to log into the internet. I'm like, well, I need to create some kind of website. I think I got on like Wix or something. Like the first website. I hope it doesn't exist anymore, because it was the worst thing ever. I remember doing everything wrong, as in like asking all my friends and my girlfriend for their email list. Like, hey, can you download your Gmail into an email list, and just sending people, just trying to get this thing going. But that's kind of when it started. And I think the video didn't start till March, like when I flew into back to Canada. I think I literally got in my car, I put on the camera on my dashboard, and I just started driving around and talking. They were like 30-minute videos trying to talk about what they were horrible, right? It sucked. No one watched them. But I think after 100 videos, you start getting a little better.
Right. And now, so then you're taking your business from a space up out of your head, and you're putting it in the universe. And that's the hardest thing, because no one wants us there, right? We are thinking no one wants us there. There's 1,000,001 motivational speakers, 1,000,001 coaches. Tony Robbins told me I needed better credit before I went to Business Mastery. So all these things that says you're not wanted. You're not an expert in this field. And so you took it to the gym, you made the website, you said, hopefully it's not there anymore. And you start building a company over time. And from the crappy videos that both you and I made my my first one in a hoodie. I didn't even know what I was saying.
Right.
And so now you take it online, and is that when you get into social media?
Yeah, that's about, I knew nothing. Again, I know so little. The more you learn, the more you realize how little you know.
Absolutely.
I'm like, and I think also I was always watching people that were doing better than me, right? Like trying to learn something, but trying to replicate what they're doing.
Yes.
And that was about 6 months ago, 3 months ago, where I'm like, no more of that. I'm just doing my thing. I'm putting blinders on and I'm just going at it. And that helped a lot.
Yeah.
I just had a photo shoot yesterday. The whole website's actually getting revamped. And I think it's photos and marketing and branding of a fitness brand that no one's ever done before, because I put on the blinders and I just kind of got creative instead of trying to copy what everyone else is doing. But yeah.
No, you know what? That's so important, because we come in learning that, hey, model the people that you're trying to model and become them. And we come in like duplicate everything. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. But there comes that point, that critical motion point, where you're like, okay, I'm doing too much of them and I'm not doing enough of me.
Yes. Yeah. Totally.
I had to shut it all down. And I'm like, first of all, I'm listening to too many people. Am I supposed to meditate? Am I not supposed to meditate?
Yeah.
So I love that point of view and that perspective because, yeah, you get to that point where duplication does no longer work because it's not you. It's not authentic. So that's awesome. Now you get into Facebook, Twitter, all of that. Before we move on, tell us all your handles for these things.
They're all Lucas Rubix now. LucasRubix. All one word. Easy.
Yeah, and we're going to have that in the show notes and under the video stream. We'll have that for you. Now, I'm interested in this part because before I got started, like 100%, I had to create a mission. Is that something that you had to do? Like create something that was bigger than you that scared you?
Yeah, you know what? It came from, so I was always, you'll like it, I was always comfortable. As in, like, I always made the money I needed to make. I always made it through.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for that trip to Panama that literally like depleted every bank account and every visa and every credit, like I was maxed out.
Yeah.
And when I left Panama with a t-shirt and shorts, I sold the motorcycle down there. I landed in Vancouver and I have no cell phone. I have nothing. And I'm just like, okay, I got to get a cell phone. I went on Craigslist and I got a cell phone off some dude and then I could call people, got a car. I had to restart everything. And then I looked at my bank account and I was like, I'm done. Like I have a week of living, and that pushed me to actually, I was knocking on people's doors. I was going in the mall, just introducing myself to everybody, getting clients that way. And everyone else that I know was like, I don't understand how you got so many clients in such a short period of time, how you grew so quick. But I was like, I was desperate. Like I didn't have a basement. I didn't have anything.
You didn't have that comfort.
And I think, maybe not. I don't know. If that happened to me again, I constantly try to push myself there because it's hard to sometimes get motivated. So I understand what you're saying, like the mission, the vision, having something to pull you towards. And I do that. I just read Lewis's How, that School of Greatness.
Yes.
And when I read a book, I try to take some actionable step right after I read it. So his two things were professional photos, which I was like, maybe I should hire a photographer, hired him, and we did it yesterday.
Yeah.
And he had this worksheet for your purpose, your vision, your 3 big goals. And I did that and I worked through it. And it motivates me, but I don't know. I like to just throw myself into, that uncomfortable space and just, you have to produce.
Right.
You have to produce.
And I love that because every time, I go back to what got me here, it was all action. Yeah. Like out of everything else, like forget the pictures and the professional website. No, it was action. Sure. Like I'm talking knees to the dirt, boots to the ground, and producing and creating. So I understand where you came from.
And you have that fear of what will people say?
Right.
That is terrifying. To me, it was. And I still,
question.
Yeah.
Would you rather be fearless, okay, without fear totally 100%, or would you rather be able to control your fear?
Control fear. Yeah.
I love
fear for sure.
I love it. I asked that question in my mastermind, and you wouldn't believe how many people say I'd rather be fearless. Hey, we got the thing. Let me try to control it. That's the best.
Right.
Step.
Totally. I think we need it. Yeah.
What does fitness mean to you? I mean, why fitness? You could be a freaking digital marketer. You could anything. We could pick up anything. But why fitness for you?
It changed my life from like I was, no confidence. It opened the window to personal development too, because I think you start working your muscles and you're like, okay, and you start putting the work in, but to get up at 5:30 or 5 a.m. every morning, it just changes you over time. So I really try to market, like that photo shoot yesterday, we have one where I'm lifting, basically lifting books, right? Instead of dumbbells, instead of weights, we're lifting books. That's the concept of what I do. Like that's the deeper than just the muscle. I mean, we're going to be 80 years old, Stacy, someday, and we are not going to be looking too good, right?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I want to exercise that mind, the muscle. So it's all about true strength. And that's what I really try to promote is I do the barbell training. I do heavy training, the heavy lifts, but there's some other factor in there, that mental kind of side of things. So I'm always recommending books to people. I'm always trying to get people to grow more than just vanity, because that's passing. That'll,
No, you're right, because I mean, what lasts longer? You just said it. We're going to be 80 years old. We're going to look like prunes in a while. But this thing right here is as strong as ever. Totally. I love that you tied personal development and self-improvement in your company. I don't think you could get the discipline that you create for yourself, first of all, to finish a book, Second of all, to wake up at the wee hours of the morning and continue every day. That builds discipline, but it creates habit on the lower end. And that habit makes it easier to self-motivate yourself. And that all comes with personal development, self-improvement. So it's not about running, let's run to the gym at 7 p.m. to get big, to get like Arnold Schwarzenegger. No, there is a incremental growth factor. Now you know how the muscles work. Now you know what foods to eat and how it makes you feel. Now you know what time to go to bed, because there's something about the rhythm of your heart and your cycle of your blood. And then you just want to learn more, right? You just invest yourself. What do you tell your clients? I know you got people that probably come and say, I want muscles. I want to lose 50 pounds. What is it all about with you and your clients?
Totally. Well, it is. You said it. Habits. We always start at the baseline. The habits, the setting the goals, the staying motivated. I can almost tell right away when someone comes to me and wants to work with me.
Yeah.
If they're gonna stick through the first 2-3 months, I almost know right away. I'm getting good at even the questions I ask. Right, I'll ask, your goals and obstacles, and what do you really want. I can tell if someone just kind of puts a one line down and is like, well, this is what I want. What's driving? There's something underneath that. When someone comes to me, and, they played with their kid, and all of a sudden in 5 minutes they realize they can keep up with their child or their kid. They want to get in shape for that. I mean, boom, okay, we can get some work done. We get a little crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everyone's so individual too. I have some people that are, it's funny because I get a lot of blue collarish type, which I like. That's who I like working with. I like talking about engines and dirt bikes, but a lot of engineers.
Yeah.
People from construction, but people doing some cool things. I don't really get too much of just the vanity type people because I'm not really like that either. I don't market that way. I don't think there's anyone with a shirt off at any of my marketing. So.
Yeah, and I love that because the attraction level, your target audience, and those that make sense, and there's an affinity to that. And, once you're clear on who you want to work with, you kind of filter them out with your brand. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And that comes. I just tell people, I'm like, hey, you're going to get the butt or the abs or the body you want. That'll come. But if we just keep focusing on it, that's like focusing. I tell people, like, you want $1 million, right? So like, imagine checking your bank account every day, being like, where's my million? Where's my million? Where's my million? Instead of focusing on the actual work, like the actual adding value to people's lives, helping, doing this and that. And that's same analogy, I guess, instead of just looking at a picture of whoever you want to be and just,
Absolutely.
Don't work.
And I think the industry that we're in makes it, because everything's super quick, quick rich, this and that. I'm pulling that. I'm pulling the scam out of all these scams, and I'm saying, you know what? It takes dedicated hours and dedicated months and years to get to this level. And people don't want to hear that. But I'd rather be real, cut the people off that want that fast, scammy stuff, and just deal with that core that's going to be there and invest that time and energy. So I love that. I want to go over your goals. These goals are huge. I love big goals. I love them to be scary. I love them to be dragons on my shoulder. Your top 2 goals is own 10 Revolution Fitness locations.
Yeah.
Okay. Help over 1 million people get back in shape and take control of their lives.
Yeah.
Control is a big word for me. Love that word. It's a big word for comfort killers. So I love that you have that in there. And this last one here, you're a car fanatic, right?
I am.
And you want that Porsche 911.
I do.
Every single, and the time is nearing. Okay.
You know what? It's funny. It's funny though, because like I've been fortunate enough to be able to get myself things. I just bought my KTM 690, and you think about it for so long. Then when you get it, it's just, I don't know. It's not because I'm a gearhead. I don't want that going off the wrong way. Like the car's not just the car to be. Look at me. I love motorcycles. It's the experience riding it. Like I could care less just looking at it. I want it to be dirty. I want it to be all scratched up and revved out.
Yes.
So, yeah. So my goal is, I've always been a gearhead since I was a little kid. My dad had a driving school. There was always cars around. We immigrated from Europe.
Why not? Yeah.
Cars. But I'd say that's probably the lower end of my goals. But as a personal, that would be like my trophy. Like, hey, I created this. I'm buying this.
You gotta have it. And traditional thinking says, why you shouldn't put that in there, right? It should just be like these monster business goals that we shouldn't have fun. Like we shouldn't want to drive around in a yacht, right? On a yacht.
Totally.
We shouldn't want to do the private jet thing. And I think Grant Cardone makes it clear. Have fun, man. This is the life that we're living. You work hard. You need to invest in things that makes you happy. And if it's a Porsche 911, make it. Why not?
Could die tomorrow.
Yeah,
I think about that more than I think people think I'm crazy because I mentioned that to my clients. Oh, man, we could die. Like, I could just not wake up tomorrow. Like, that's a possibility. I don't know how many people die a day, but I mean, a lot of people die a day.
You know, I used to check that, Luke. I used to be like, you know, how many people died last night? Because I get up and it's like you're like, what energy should keep me moving? And the fact that I'm alive is the only energy I need. How many people died yesterday? More than, you know. So my thing is, I love that, taking it back, rock bottom, have fun. We could not be here tomorrow, and while we're here for big things. And if it's, I'm trying to get the jet, Luke. I'm trying to get the jet. So it's all good. Let's talk about the money. Yeah. Before, you made the average, mediocre, middle class $3,000 a month, right?
Yeah.
To over 10,000 in a month, in 8 months, you did.
Sure.
So now you've seen that incremental growth, financial growth, spiritual growth, the entire growth period.
Absolutely. So I'm just getting started. I always said to myself, you're
getting started.
Just getting started.
That's it.
I'm just warming up.
That's it.
Warming up the shoulders.
I love it, man. Yeah. How'd you do that? How'd you invest? You knocked doors, you got clients. How does someone take a business out of thin air and start making deals like 10,000 a month with clients?
Yeah, so I'm crazy. I have it right in front of me. Like, I have a list of every single email I get, every contact I have. I have a huge list, and every single day I'm going through it, and I'm like emailing, texting, until someone tells me not to. And I really, really got that. You probably see some similarity to that. Is I hated sales, right? I was like, what's sales? Like, I hated it until I read that Greatest Salesman in the World and the 10X books and the Grant Cardone stuff, and I realized that is sales is life. Like, you're always selling. I'm always working on it, always working on the pitch, but it really just came down to crazy follow-up. Like, I will not I'm still texting people from 12 months ago who showed some interest, checking up on them. Like, I'm constantly doing that. Every spare second I have, I'm on social media fishing for, you know, who needs help, who's going through a struggle, how can I help somebody? Yeah, you got to get crazy. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, I love it. I just wrote a list of your list. And we're going to put it in there. So you got someone that hated sales. Everyone hates sales. We've been taught to hate sales, that sleazy salesman, that car dealer, you know. And then we realized that sales is life, that producing income, focusing on income is life. And it took, you know, the Greatest Salesman in the World, Grant Cardone books, for us to realize that. We weren't taught this in school. I was taught how to be a great worker. I was taught by my family how to go get that degree and then go out into the job market and work for some dreamer that built a company. So I love this idea, and follow-up is key. And I love that, you know, that's very meticulous of you, and you know, it's painstaking, but that's the boring things that work in business.
And I'm still old school. I mean, I still have it all written down. Like, I take notes with, you know, I know you got the CRM software and you can use all that, but I'm just like, I take the note.
Take the note. Man, we got so many index cards around our offices. It's unbelievable. I love that.
So going back, one last time is, I think for the selling, you know, I remember before being like, well, nothing wrong with multi-level marketing, but I was just looking for products like, how can I make the most money? And then selling something like that is it's hard, because I don't know if I buy it myself, but what I do and what I know how I can help people, I know that is my intention, 100% my intention.
Yeah. And
that is easy to sell. So if you're doing something that you really believe in,
that's awesome.
100%, and you do it for free, or you die, you know, if you had to die for it, you would. You know, I don't even have to sell. Like, I don't pitch. I'm always, you know, you got to work on the craft, but I could just go in there raw and talk to somebody and be like, dude, you need this. Like, let me show you what I can do for you. You don't have to sell it as much.
Yeah, because it's coming from a place of authenticity.
Yeah.
And you want to help. You're trying to literally serve someone and get them to a better state. So yeah, you're right. You took the selling part out of it, and it becomes now a conversation of how I can help you.
Yeah.
I love that. Do you throw stats on everything, man?
Do I throw which?
Stats, statistics. How many videos you do a day? How many hours you sleep in the night? How many weights you lifted?
No, I track progress for sure. Track progress. I guess I tell people that all the time. I do. I track every client, every dollar, every weight, every rep, every set. I'm a little crazy. I'm a little obsessed with that for sure.
Yeah.
I track it on the computer, then I track it on a pad, and then I track it on paper. So I always have it around me.
Yeah.
But I tried to make. Actually, it was a while ago. Who told me this? Someone told me, like that little pie graph that your productivity during the day, what you do.
Yes.
And I tried doing that, but I was spending more time doing that than actually being productive. So I threw that away.
I love that. Brings me to another point. You know, we got all these tools and gadgets, and it kind of, to set those tools and gadgets up, it takes time, massive amounts of time. So, and then it takes you away from really doing the hardcore thing that got you to where you got, and that's creating, man.
And this whole, I feel like sometimes I mean, I'll show you here. I mean, this is my, I'm always reading something, just like you. But sometimes I look at these books and I almost catch myself just overload. Yeah. So I feel like lately I've been kind of realizing there's like a wave I go through where I'm kind of lower on energy. So I just suck in as much information. I process it. Yeah. But once that idea comes or I'm processed, the books go away and I'm just like pounding every day.
Absolutely.
So go through little waves, if that makes any sense.
No, it makes perfect sense to me, because I think we're a lot alike. And it's kind of scary, because it's like we started both our companies around the same time a year ago. We've seen so much growth. It became almost as time doesn't exist.
It's addictive too.
It's addictive.
Like everyone that's winning.
Oh my God. And I was addicted. I was in the casinos for a long time, 9 years. And I redirected that addiction. I didn't want to, that's what that whole fearless thing I asked. We know we got it. And now let's control it. Put it in a constructive thing. So tell me about a time. We're so much alike that I just love talking to you, Lucas.
Hit it.
Tell me about a time, man. You had to get uncomfortable. You had to be some comfort killer status right now. Tell us about that time. What did you do?
Oh man, I don't know. I almost every single day I do something that it was self-destructive. Uncomfort, right? Like I was breaking the law, breaking the rules, doing something. Like I used to run from cops all the time on the dirt bikes and the motorcycle. Like it was that kind of fear, adrenaline, I guess.
Yes.
I think I got into acting when I was 20, 21, and I remember it was just by a fluke, and I was on the little stage there on the first day of this acting class, and I just had adrenaline. Like I couldn't get a word out. I couldn't believe there was only like 6 people watching.
Yeah. And
I was like, whoa. And I kind of redirected I guess as I grew up, I mean, I still do a little crazy things on the dirt bike, but that became like my uncomfort. And then really starting this business. And I remember going into a mall. I was like, I didn't have any clients. I was making $0. And I went into a mall with these, I designed these brochures. It took me like 5 minutes and I printed them out. They were horrible. And I went out and I just went into every store and I'm handing out these brochures, introducing myself, free session, and, trying to create a pitch as I'm like going through people, what they react to. Remember that was terrifying to me, but I mean, I had no choice. That'd be like, you're hungry and you got to go through a garbage can. You don't want to, but you would.
I did it.
Yeah.
I mean,
you do what you got to do.
Excuse me, Lou. I mean, you're absolutely right. I think every day there's a planner that we're designing right now. And the only piece that I definitely needed on it from the printer was saying, what uncomfortable tasks are you doing today? Because every day, even though we're always growing our comfort, like that comfort zone, I'm expanding. Like I'm out of there. Now I'm expanding the get uncomfortable zone. Yeah. And so every day, like even this, I have another thing to do after this. I want to push those levels. I want to get better. I want to be comfortable by getting uncomfortable. So
you got it. You got it pinned. Like I love it.
What are your top? Give me your top book. Is it the 10X Rule? Is it The Greatest Salesman?
Oh man, it switches. Like right now, Robert Greene is one of my favorite authors.
Come on,
you read his stuff?
Yo, come on, man.
What's going on?
Come on. Who are you? Are you me, man? Are we? Right? I love Robert.
No, man. I started reading it. I can't get away from it. Like it literally changed my life of how I approach people, and I don't know. Right now, that's my favorite. But it switches just like music or like my motorcycles. I'm just like, every week there you go. What's going on?
Yo, this is it.
That's crazy.
I love, the way I read book is reference. So I don't read book one and done. They all got highlighted piece. I go back to them. And these things are powerful. I know you can open yours, man.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I love Lucas.
Crazy. Yeah, but right now that's it's just raw, like that 50th law. I was just like, if he can do it, Like, come on.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
And it's all about expanding in power. So yeah, we're gonna round it out. I had such a great time today with you, and again, it's an honor because I believe we started around the same time. Both our minds were.
I love what you're doing. Like I don't know. I don't remember how I stumbled. It's always like that. You don't remember how you stumbled, but I just watched the thing, and I was like, this person's crazy.
Crazy as hell.
I love it. You gotta be.
Let me see. I think I have a funny story with you, but we're going to share that offline. So thank you again. Thank you again for joining us. Today I have Lucas. I'm not going to butcher your name. I'm going to have you say it.
Rubkiewicz.
Rubkiewicz.
Damn.
Okay? You know, you gotta cook. You gotta give me some Polish food, man. You gotta cook some Polish food.
Man, yeah, you gotta talk to my parents. I'll get them to send you something.
I love it. I love it. And when we go up to Canada, we're definitely gonna check you out. We have to get fit. I gotta fit. If you could make a fitness plan, a little one-page sheet for the Comfort Killers, so we can give them out. That'll be great, and that'll be added to this. That'll be great.
That'd be awesome.
And let's do it. Let's move on. Comfort Killers, thank you so much. If you want to see what this gentleman is doing, what he's doing in Canada, definitely check out Revolution Fitness online. As you know, his name is down there, and you could actually tag him on everything. He has his name on everything, just like me, Stacey A. Cross. I am so happy that you're here. I'm so happy that we're together. We shared a bond today. We left a deposit in the universe. We're here to help millions, okay? That's what life is about. We get uncomfortable on a daily basis. I am Stacey A. Cross. And there is. Could you finish it for me, Lucas?
No, we in it.
I love you guys. See you later. Lucas, you're freaking amazing, man.
Thanks.
Yeah, this is great.
It's fun.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. Oh, yeah, let me stop recording.